day. I can't remember if we saw that in any of the games today, but he's definitely been practicing that on stream.
Yeah, very curious to see how this matchup plays out against Fosee. Fosee has been playing on an incredible level with Brawlhalla, specifically when it comes to the character signature kit. There are a lot of players that I think select characters for their weapon combinations, but Fosee has really made the character Brawlhalla herself work very well. And a nice follow-up on Machete's sidelight nair there to get that sider, to get the guaranteed damage and put Pavelski deep in orange.
Now we do see 2 axes on the field. That will be the maximum number of axes that we will see with this character setup. If we get the Taros in, if we get the Zol in, that'll add 1 or 2 more axes. See, nice split. 1 axe going to the left, 1 axe going to the right from the blue team. They find a KO off of it. See if they can find another one. Great pickup right after the weapon spawn came up. Fosee's able to grab the second one as well. It's going to keep the red team starved here. Still continuing to starve the red team, and Fosee grabs another weapon. He's juggling these weapons
really like
so
that.
well.
And he juggled the weapon off of a successful sidelight nair, throwing the weapon up, forcing Pavelski high, then picking up the sword and going for the recovery to catch the landing. Really well played. Continues to tack on more damage onto the Ninja as he lands with a down air, and Machete is put into a recovery position. Let's see how the blue team can make it back from this as the anchor comes down, but it misses, and now the position's been reversed. Edge guard in favor of the blue team. Let's see who can hit everything, and Pavelski just downlight recoveries everyone.
That is going to be a 1-for-1 trade, which is not going to be in the favor of the red team that took out the Ninja and it took out the Machete. So if you look on that top right corner, Fosee's still very deep in the red, but it's deep in the red on the first stock. So not a good trade for the red team. Blue team's still definitely in the lead here. Pavelski's going to have to be careful. Look how far that neutral light sent him. That actually sent him off screen. Now Pavelski's over on the edge. You see those big cannon hits coming out, but Fosee comes in. Is he going to pick up the double? And he does.
Fosee is, and this is remarkable, right? It's 5 stocks to 2, but the one with 3 stocks up to that point was the lowest defense character on the screen. And this has been just something that I've been noticing in Europe. Well, Machete goes down really early, though. Is that the low defense legends, it doesn't seem to be mattering. It only matters once they get into a position where they might be in a 1v2 where it's like, oh, well, then they don't have much health to survive the team combos. But man, Fosee has just been untouchable on this character. Using that sidelight to stop Pavelski out of that recovery and continue to tack on more damage with the stock lead that he has. But this is the weakness of the team, right? Is that while Fosee is not dying at all, Machete is near death, almost going to lose the stock. That side stick was just a little bit of damage away from doing it, and then Fosee being put in that 1v2 is in a really tough position.
Yeah, this game is all of a sudden taking a turn for the worse here for the blue. They were definitely in the lead. Yo, the turnaround on the side sig, that is actually going to hit Machete, and that's going to get the KO off of it.
This is one of the few scenarios where I put the favor in the 1 in the 1v2. Let's see if he's able to avoid any of the combo starters. He's got to watch out for downlight and neutral light on gauntlets. Whereas sword, neutral light, and downlight are definitely going to be the scary things. So just Fosee wants to be careful where he lands. Oh, that was beautiful. Gravity gets a downlight and recovery, catching him in the air. Now, this is the problem that I was witnessing earlier when watching Fosee Machete, right? Fosee would do such a great job of stock tanking, but the defense is so low. If he gets caught in one-team combo, anything that you start from white will result in a knockout. Oh, I thought that was it.
Oh, no, This is bad for Fosee. He gets through it. It's going to give him a couple more chances to possibly pick up a KO. There's one. He grabs the recovery.
Huge. That was such an amazing combo of weaving in and out, just carrying Fosee around the stage. But now Fosee in the 1v2 picks up the axe, hits 3 hits to Pavelski, disarms him, and is one solid hit away from taking this 1v2 as a victory for game number 1 in winners finals. Sword picked up, downlight missed. Gravity gets a downlight into neutral air, down air. So much damage on the Fosee, and now it's anybody's game. Can Pavelski get the side stick on gauntlets and take Fosee off the screen? Or will Fosee get on the stage, get the delay recovery, and end it all?
Oh! Somehow that doesn't take him off the top. That neutral sig almost did. Pavelski is going to fall, and Fosee takes the dub here. 734 damage from Fosee. He also took the second most damage in the game. Fosee's Brawlhalla is unreal today.
Yeah, it's incredible, and I am constantly being surprised by it. I mean, and that was off the back of a 1v2 victory coming up from Fosee. Granted, yes, he had 2 stocks to start with, but it's a 1v2, and you're on a 4 defense legend. He was able to make that comeback at the very last minute with that recovery, and like you said, nearly taking 600 damage on this legend is incredible. Survivability is unreal. The one thing that I think needs to, well, I don't know. This is a winners finals match, right? It's the two best teams of the day fighting against each other. But what I would like to see is just a little bit of an adjustment to help Machete's survivability. Machete already very tanky on the Old Grim, but time and time again, and it's not even just against these opponents, Machete is going down and out of the game before Fosee even has lost his second stock. And this has been happening very consistently. I wonder if they could patch up that problem. They're on their way to looking like one of the most fierce teams in Europe, for sure. Meanwhile, Ninja79 and Pavelski are staying to these legends. It was very close. They did what they needed to do. They got Machete out early, and they just flubbed the 1v2. If they go into another game, focus on that game plan a little bit more, Machete can't adjust, and they get Fosee in the 1v2 again, but they have higher health. I could see them winning every game from here on out. Let's see how this progresses as the map banning has begun. And it looks like we're going to... Ooh. That's very surprising. I was about to write off the Great Hall as even a possibility, but out of the 3 maps that were left, that is where we will be going. In game number 2, 1-0 in favor of Machete and Fosee after that amazing 1v2 comeback, and now we are on a map with an incredibly high ceiling. Fosee's not going to be able to get those knockouts off the top with sword recovery nearly as well as he was able to in game number 1. And all of the weapons are spawning here, and everybody's got one except for Machete, who is being carried towards the top of the stage by Pavelski on the gauntlets. Fosee getting hit by the gauntlet side air. Pavelski's trying to get back onto the stage. Sidelight misses. Oh, and there's the Ninja trying to bring out that down signature on the cannon. Machete fighting everybody off the left side of the stage with the lance. Uses the neutral light ground pound. Hits Pavelski into the neutral stick from Fosee. Weapon toss forces the dodge, but Fosee's not in position to get the ground pound. Pavelski makes it back, but that was a ton of damage. An amazing combo. Sidelight nair sends Pavelski deeper into the orange. That neutral stick, despite the high ceiling of the Great Hall, takes him off the top, and the lead goes to the blue team in game number 2.
Ninja here to try and get an answer KO onto Machete. Not able to quite find it just yet. It's a down heavy from the wrong side of the stage. Machete still living here. Fosee in the middle of the stage goes over to the left side, starting to take some damage. Lead still favors the blue team. Definitely after they grab that KO, it's a little bit closer to the red side. Shouldn't take much to take out Fosee just based on stats, but the way the Fosee's been playing today, that might not be the case. Nair comes in off the top. Fosee just kind of pushed it a little bit too hard, and look how the red team is able to capitalize off of taking Fosee off the top.
Definitely the strength of every team that's had some success against Fosee and Machete so far is just beating up Machete when Fosee is off the map. And look at that, Machete fresh stock, not fresh anymore, already in the red. Pavelski similarly taking a lot of damage from Fosee as they try to get their bearings. That downlight nair interrupted just barely by Fosee's sidelight.
Neutral light, Machete is looking for the takeout over here on the Ninja, getting the dodge to go through that weapon toss and almost would have honked him on the head.
Yeah. Oh, Pavelski set flying. Will the Ninja get the revenge knockout onto Machete? Weapon throw goes forward, misses, and Fosee and Machete take control of center stage. And that has been some really cool axe maneuvering that I've been seeing from Fosee and Machete throughout the day. Is this like cascade of axe sidelights where one sidelight hits and the other one immediately jumps over to continue the sidelight chain into each other to get as much damage as possible. But Machete goes down. And now it is 3 stocks to 3. Fosee, though, with a quick snipe on the side stick. Is that going to be it? No, he doesn't get the kick. And then Ninja makes it back.
We are almost a completely even game here. Pavelski's a little bit more damage than Machete is in the final stock. Ninja's going to go down. The 2v1 situation, Pavelski just going to stick over on that corner, throw out those sort of zoning nairs that might hit someone that's just a little bit too close to that corner while providing himself a little bit of a defensive area over the top. Fosee still living on this second stock. Even that final hit of the neutral light from Machete hits Fosee, but it doesn't really matter. Not going to be a KO move. Machete, he's looking for a big play. Oh no, he might get punished on it. There's the dare. I've seen Pavelski take people out with edge guards like that before.
That was a great adaptation, though. That's exactly what I wanted to see from Fosee, right? That's Machete being in the situation where he's going to put Fosee in the 1v2 again, and Fosee dropped everything, went to the bottom of the stage, and provided the support for Machete to live a little longer so that Fosee doesn't have to work quite as hard in the next 1v2 that looks like is about to happen. Let's see if Machete is able to avoid the attacks the Ninja's putting out. Anchor avoided, ground pound avoided, center stage taken back. And Fosee's trying to get a down sig onto get an early knockout.
Blue team
Let's
still
see
just
who gets the first
a
stock.
little bit in the lead, but the way Red Team's been bullying Machete, they could take him out. That weapon toss, that's going to disarm Ninja. Machete and Ninja both go for the same weapon spawn, but Ninja grabs it. D-Light Dare, he's not able to find anything afterwards. Oh no, look at this damage he took off of just missing that one attack.
Oh, Fosee barely dodges the gauntlet recovery that could have ended his stock. He took so much off of that in the mid-air. Team combo, improvised with the cannon, ending with the recovery, puts so much damage on the Fosee. Machete just barely weaves away from the weapon throw, and Fosee with the recovery off the top takes the stock, and no, the Ninja can't make it back. Fosee and Machete 2-0 lead in winners finals.
Machete surviving on that final stock right there towards the end was so key to that. We talked about him getting bullied a lot and dying before Fosee despite having more defense than Fosee does, but his turnaround at the end of the game, look at how much damage he took compared to everybody else. Fosee took 564, Ninja took low 500, Pavelski took mid 500, Machete took 665 damage. Way more than anyone else.
And I think a large part of that survivability is credit to Fosee identifying when he needed to go down and help Machete recover. There was that moment on the bottom right side of the stage where you and I were both saying it. Machete, we thought he was going to go down. Fosee dips down there, throws the weapon away, uses his unarmed attacks to make sure that he can recover, and Machete survived the rest of the game. Amazing play coming out from the blue team, and now two legend swaps coming out, or a legend swap coming out for the opposing team, as it's now Sidra and Taros on Shipwreck Falls for game number 3. Are Fosee and Machete going to 3-0 their way into grands? That would be incredible. Let's see how it plays out.
It's certainly possible, but with this Taros coming in, taking out Machete might have been a problem last game, averaging 222 damage per stock. That might be why Pavelski's coming out. Oh no, it's his first stock. That is so rough, dude. Look at the difference. Ninja hasn't taken a single hit this game, and he ended up killing Pavelski in orange.
Yep. But they are unfazed by it. The second that Pavelski picked up a weapon, Ninja lands, gets a neutralite. Alley-oop comes out from Pavelski with the axe side air. Recovery from Machete, interestingly enough, I think saves both of them by hitting Fosee. So now Fosee has a little bit longer to fight with the stock, but that's it. He knows it. He fast falls out on the other side. Machete take it down, and dude, the Ninja's still not touched. He still hasn't been hit.
I had to look at the timer to see how long he had been in this game without taking a single hit. It was over a minute before he took his first hit. And because of that, Red Team is like hugely in the lead here because Pavelski didn't take too much damage on his second stock despite going down so quickly.
Oh, and the Ninja almost got a recovery after the weapon thrown to Fosee. Weapons being denied from the Ninja, but I don't think he really cares. He's really living up to his name there, just avoiding everything. Getting a ton of hits, and down air from Machete comes through, but doesn't get the jump read. Another down air hits, ground pound avoided, recovery sent back, and Pavelski on the left side of the stage goes down again, and this is looking troublesome for the Red Team. I mean, the Ninja is playing on another level, but Pavelski at the same time is kind of getting destroyed after this Taros swap.
I'll be really curious to see how much damage Ninja has actually done so far in this game. Because if he's not taking damage, that's normally pretty fantastic. But if he's also not really doing anything in the process, then that's why Pavelski's on his final stock.
Yeah. Not to mention that one of those stocks was taken by the Ninja.
Yeah.
So it's a rough look. I like that idea from Fosee. Fosee recognizing, hey, if I'm just going to keep getting neutralized away by the cannon here, and Machete doing the same thing. This is brilliant. They're falling to respawn to help their teammates instead of spending all that time in knockback, doing nothing, and making the 1v2 disparity that much greater.
That was sick. Fosee hit the side light, knew he couldn't get the side air true, so he chase dodge forward, turn around, did a neutral sig to rise him up, and hit the Ninja. That was great string extension.
Woo! The Ninja, he air dodged Machete's side air, but canceled the air dodge into a neutral light to hit Fosee away. Ninja is playing out of his mind. Downlight hits on the Pavelski, uses it as an activator for the chase dodge. Oh man, he is close to losing that second stock. Maybe he loses that. Oh, okay. Can they get Pavelski here? Sidelight sider, weapon throws going up, forcing the dodge. No dodge in sight.
Oh no!
He dive kicked into the ground pound. Machete can't save him. Oh, this is the hardest 1v1 that Machete has. Let's see if he can do it. The Ninja has been playing incredibly, and he goes through 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 recovery towards the top. This is going to a game 4 for sure, unless Machete with one silent nair. Just needs 5 more of those. Sider hits. Machete makes it back. Does not. Dodges right into the recovery. Wow. Let's take a look at those stats. Oh, Ninja did the most damage in the game while taking the least amount of damage in the game. He was just actually on fire.
He was just playing really consistently throughout the entire thing. He wasn't like making any giant major plays in the moment. He wasn't gimping anybody at white. He wasn't grabbing an anchor that was taking someone out on the corner in orange or yellow. He wasn't racking up double KOs. He was just playing really well throughout the entire game. So it didn't seem like he was doing anything like that crazy. His strings weren't huge, but he was just adding up small strings throughout the entire thing. Almost 600 damage. Also picked up 5 KOs, by the way. So he kind of put that game on his back a little bit.
A little bit, I'd say entirely. That was a stellar performance coming up from the Ninja, and with the forgivable mistake of taking out his teammate's stock at the very beginning, and even more so, actually, that it's impressive to me because something that happened is after that occurred, and Pavelski respawned, got a weapon, they just changed it right into a team combo the second that they were on the ground. So they didn't even worry about the fact that happened. They just continued towards their win condition and succeeded. Now, into game number 4, they are at match point, but the last game was a victory for them. Let's see how this plays out, as no legends have changed from the previous game, and Machete and Fosee are continuing to fight for their way into Grand Finals.
And we're not changing map whatsoever either. We are back again on Shipwreck. Nice bright and sunny spring day here. Shipwreck Falls.
Man, that is a downer and a neutral for Machete. That's a ton of damage. Pavelski returning the favor with his own down air, but not nearly as much damage. Both axe players jumping down. Double down air, sideline sider off the right side of the stage, into the neutral sink, ground pound. Okay, Pavelski, you're kind of getting a little crazy here. The chase dodge of his teammate saved him all.
My gosh. Got the save, got the KO. Pavelski's nuts right now. He must be embarrassed from what happened last game. He is, first of all, he ground pounded his teammate and it looked like it was going to be a team KO, and he was like, okay, I'm not going to make the same mistake that my teammate did last game. I'm going to not only save him, but secure the KO, give ourselves a huge lead here on the red team. Still putting out damage, has Machete in the orange. Sidelight Nair turns Machete red, and the D-Sync for the KO. Pavelski's going crazy.
I'm pretty sure, oh my god, he gets another down. I'm pretty sure Pavelski's damage is already at 500. Like, it has to be. It has been non-stop. Wailed on his opponents. Finally goes down to that first stock, but Machete's on one. Fosee deeply damaged in the second. And a Taro signature of any caliber would take down Brawlhalla at this amount of damage. Machete reads the dodge, gets the neutral light, gets a nice sidelight nair, but the Ninja in with the save does get a little bit of extra damage as Machete recovers high, and now the 1v2 for Fosee while he gets back on the ground is looking pretty rough. But that sides to come through in Pavelski. I mean, he just got out of the second stock, and he might be out of it pretty soon. Blue team's bringing it back.
Oh, nice GC down heavy from Pavelski to get the follow-up there. Even though he was unarmed, he was able to throw out a heavy attack, find the side air for the KO. Machete's done. Fosee's on his final stock, and he's staring at 4 big, mighty stocks from the red team in true EU fashion today. At least at this point, I think we're going to a Game 5.
Yes. And I know Fosee won a 1v2 earlier, but this is a little different than that last situation. There are 4 stocks, as you said, on the board. Fosee puts that down, so trying to catch him off guard. But when you're in this scenario, it benefits you immensely to just stop and wait for what their opponent's going to do, because you've got another person that can react to whatever they go for. I say that, but that was a pretty unorthodox option. Okay, double knockout from Fosee. Let's see what happens.
Fosee feeling good about it, but the second both members of the red team respawn, it's completely different from the situation that we just saw.
Is it, though? He just got a sidelight nair on Axe, got out, and forced some friendly fire. He's downlighting the Ninja. I mean, if Fosee can force the Ninja and Pavelski to be impatient. Recovery hits, doesn't get the neutral, but gets the sider. 2 siders. What is happening? Sparky, what is happening?
Tazza, look at the top right corner. Nothing major has been done to the red team.
Are you sure
because
about
look at that. Look at that's all it took. That's all it took.
It was major. Okay, Sparky. I understand that nothing major had happened to them, but it was about to happen. He hit like 9 clean hits in neutral in a 1v2 without taking any damage. That's what I was getting excited about.
And that is worthy to get excited about, but it's like Hank says in Breaking Bad when he's trying to catch Walter White. He says, Walter White has to get lucky every single time. We only have to get lucky once. And you saw that at the end. It was that one, I don't even want to call it explosive because it wasn't huge. It was just few really good hits with a weapon toss in there, and that's all it took for the 2 to secure the win over the 1.
Yep, 1v2s are difficult, folks. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. And Fosee was making good work of it, but like you said, only had to get lucky once for the opposing team, and that was the stock. And now we are in Game 5. Machete off of his original legend pick onto Bodvar. As we ban out maps, and 3 unusual maps are left open. Small Enigma, the Great Hall, and Miami Dome. And we're going to Small Enigma for the first time this set for game number 5. And I will already say that both Sidra and Jala have some very nice neutral sig coverage over both of these platforms on the left and right side. It's going to be an interesting game for sure.
We're on Enigma. Any game that is fought on Enigma, it's definitely interesting why that map was chosen. But we're also getting, with a new map, we're getting a new character for Machete. After doing 266 damage last game, he's not feeling the Olgrim anymore, so he's swapping over. Wants to add 1 more sword to what's going on in this game with 3 sword legends.
Yeah, and Small Enigma, unlike the Great Hall, has the benefit of having D-Light Recovery take off the top so much earlier because the ceiling is not nearly as high. So as long as they're playing around that top platform well, it could lead to some really early knockouts like that almost was with Pavelski near the side air. Nice job, the signature, both weapons missing. And Machete makes it back with a nice dive kick. No stocks left just yet, but Pavelski going in with that weapon throw right after the recovery. Great job. And the follow-up. Oh, the downer hits. No, Fosee makes it back. I am so surprised that most players came back unscathed from that offstage exchange. And that side sig not hitting, Cider hitting instead. Really heavily damaged on both teams. Machete, however, once again the 1 with the stock deficit.
His hammer looking good, doing some work that his axe or his lance could not do last game. Now I have no data to back this up whatsoever. I just feel it deep in me bones. But I swear people are more willing to do extended offstage engagements, especially when unarmed, on Enigma.
And, wow,
Yo!
That is not where I thought that was going. But I can see what you're saying.
Fosee actually got out of that and then threw a neutral signature that helped interrupt the 2v1 combo. So sort of a clutch moment there from Fosee, but a significant amount of damage was still done, especially to Machete, but also to Fosee before he got out of it.
Ninja still surviving. Pavelski gets into the right side of the stage. Fosee going for the ground pound, and he gets it, but there goes the Ninja at the same time. It is a... I would say that this game is even. And it all depends on how much damage Pavelski takes in the next 30 seconds. And Fosee already opening up with the recovery towards the top is tacking on a ton of damage. Machete still surviving. And the Ninja hitting Fosee off, trying to get that last stock. Oh, it's close.
Got that stock off of Fosee. They just have to clean up Machete here. The weapon toss gets the dodge, and Machete cannot make it back. It is now 3
Solid
stocks
lead
to
now.
2. Definitely in the lead of the red team.
Oh! Down air Cider, ground pound coming out onto Fosee as they are unarmed. That is white to light orange already. Pavelski tacking on a ton of damage with the Taros. Down air, neutral sig! Does he go for the second? Oh, he goes for the recovery instead. Keeping it tame here in Game 5. Definitely wants to get in the grand finals as they are about to perform the reverse 3-0, but no! Ninja taking off the top. Can Pavelski survive? In the meantime, it looks like the answer is yes, but Machete getting that sidelight dashing away from the down Sig, who is going down first.
Oh, Ninja's starting to bully Machete. He's completely separated from Fosee. Fosee's in the red, Machete's in the red. Red team definitely has a solid lead here. Another recovery comes out, sending Machete high. Not enough to KO yet. One more might be the one to secure it, but it won't come from Fosee as Pavelski takes him out on the right side. Hammer side air hits both members of the red team. They're split. It gives Machete some room, but they come back together, converging. The weapon toss and then the follow-up from Pavelski to take it off the top here in Game 5. Ninja and Pavelski come out victorious and move on into the grand finals.
What a performance. The Taros coming in clutch for the reverse 3-0 to get into grands. An amazing best of 5 and a matchup that I would be excited to see happen again, but it's going to be up to our two Titan teams in the lower bracket to make that decision, as we have the players that were both in the winners finals and grand finals of the Winter Championship of 2021 just a few months ago, duking it out in the lower bracket for this losers semifinals match.
Now we see the character picks right in front of us, or at least we do. Y'all are looking at the bracket to see Pavelski and Ninja move into the grand finals. That means Fosee and Machete are going to be going down all the way in that Game 5 situation. And I think that was sort of an upset. Pavelski's coming in at PR3, Machete's coming in at PR7, and the Ninja is actually behind Machete at PR8, according to Brawlhalla.com/rankings/power. So not sure exactly how up-to-date that is, but that is the most up-to-date data that I have access to. We're moving into this next one, and we're coming in with a double Bodvar. And there's one thing I do want to note. Phazon is currently streaming right now, and did mention that with respect to a few teams, by and large, when teams come through with a double character, Phazon sees it as kind of a lack of teamwork going on, that they don't really fully know how to play around one another on their main characters, so they just pick the same character to kind of make it easier, take a little bit of a lazy way out. Now, he did say he said that with respect to a few teams. Specifically, he mentioned Blaze and Aknow, and then I'm sure Simple and Heisen are in that boat as well.
Well, and let's add some technical reasons as to why that is.
Yeah.
And that is because with how DI and basically how DI, I don't know if we can actually call it move scaling, but basically when you hit somebody with the same move multiple times, it allows them to drastically control the direction of which they get knocked back, right? And so when you choose two of the same character, you are multiplying the amount of scenarios where that might actually occur. So a big reason why a lot of really seasoned doubles teams want to go for two different characters that at the very least have as little overlap with weapons as possible is so that they can avoid those scenarios where their opponents can have control over the direction that they get hit while they are getting comboed.
So keep that in mind now that you see a double Bodvar coming out here. And we're actually seeing Blaze and Aknow kind of swap characters around a little bit as well. Not a surprise to see definitely the Koji coming out from Aknow. That's one of his regular characters that he plays in twos. But I'm not sure about this Taros on Blaze.
Yeah, when it comes to Europe and doubles, I kind of just give every character a pass as long as it has either the hammer or the axe. It's like, okay, well, I'm certain that they're going to be able to play with the character to a certain level. But so far, looking amazing for Aknow on the Koji, as I know Aknow's Koji is pretty insane. And now going into game number one, that double knockout, starting it off in the Crystal Temple, is looking great for them. Simple and Heisen, however, are fighting back and trying to get this first stock off of Blaze. That sider hits. I don't think Blaze touched. He's just gone. Aknow in position for the nair save. Aknow does go down for it, but Blaze survives where he originally would have not.
I'm looking at this character level that he has. It's just a level 39 Taros coming out from Blaze, and we're seeing this game now going to even. This is a matchup that we've seen so many times, usually not on the loser side of the bracket, and very rarely, if ever, this early in the bracket.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that plays out. We are starting out on Crystal Temple, which of all the strange things to happen right now, I think starting Crystal Temple is one of the stranger things.
Yeah, I was like, Stingray is not on this screen. Why are we at Crystal Temple? That's the only character, that's the only player that I would imagine would strike here for game number one. But here we are regardless. Aknow deep in red. Throwing out his dodge with that gravity cancel downlight. Doesn't get punished for it. Blaze gets the stomp. Sider switches immediately over to the Heisen. Siders him away. Recovery comes in from Simple, and they're gone. Heisen, will he follow? Blaze gets that nice dash jump, pivot, fastball, down air onto Heisen, trying to get him off the top of the stage. Aknow wasn't able to reciprocate any extra damage, but there he goes. And a 4-stock-to-2 lead once again. Last time Simple and Heisen evened this up pretty quickly, but Simple got comboed quite hard there by Aknow's bow. Man, Aknow is he's going crazy.
He's throwing out those anti-airs, going back and forth with that 45-degree angle neutral light on the bow. One of the things that Aknow said is he believes that Aknow and Blaze are the best 2v2 team global. So I'm curious, global. He's as bold to say global, and he's bold enough and humble enough to say that Blaze is the best 2v2 player.
Yeah, that's
global.
my favorite dynamic between these two, is that they're just constantly trash-talking each other. It's like, no, you're the better player. But that will happen between these two. Very high respect for each other. But back to the mash. Aknow getting that down, take on to Heist, and puts him off stage long enough for Blaze to be able to finish the edge guard on the Simple, and now, I thought that was going to be the alley-oop to finish the game. Side air, forcing the dodge. Heist just struggling to get back to the stage. Weapon starved. Game one's almost certainly going over to Blaze and Aknow in the lower semis, and that sider will do it. Well played from the team of Koji and Teros.
That's going to be a game one going to the blue team, going to Blaze and Aknow. Blaze the only one to break out of that 400 damage into the 500s, putting out 568, leading some credence there to the fact that he could be one of the best 2v2 players globally.
We have now 3 different breeds of Teros on the screen. We've got a force stance Teros on Hyson, a default stance on Simple, and a deck stance for Blaze. As we're going into game number 2, and the copycat team of 2 of the same legends is continuing, this time from Bodvar into the Minotaur himself. Teros is going to be going up against Blaze and Aknow. That's so cool. Europe is like one of the few regions where I feel like every player has a different stance on what stats are actually valuable. I know a ton of players believe that, and I'm similar to this, where they don't like having less than 4 decks on certain weapons. Like when I'm playing Axe and Blasters, I would never take out of decks on Brawlhalla, for example. Anyways, it's cool that there are so many different playstyles. We're seeing 3 different ones right now, and Blaze immediately getting deleted in under 30 seconds, and Aknow may shortly follow as they fight against this double Teros team.
That weird stance thing kind of seems to be more of an EU thing, because the same thing happens with Ulgrim, who is maybe even more extreme with it, is there are several players that will go down to 2 decks Ulgrim. A lot of people will just play the default decks, and then some people will also opt into decks. So maybe that's more of an EU thing.
I love that we don't have to use that talking point so much, because I'm pretty sure you and I have talked about that every single tournament we've casted.
I find
in
it
Europe.
interesting.
And
I
this
don't
is
care.
the first one. This is like the first one where it's like, oh yeah, Ulgrim isn't actually that common anymore. It's very refreshing.
I'm gonna keep saying it because I think it's interesting.
We have a Jala in grand finals. My goodness. Somehow, blue team comes back. Takes the lead. Aknow was so damaged early on. Blaze lost that first stock in under 30 seconds. It's been a minute since then. Blaze has taken no damage, and Aknow is still, was still on their first stock.
We see an incredibly even game here, despite the sort of radical switch over to this double Teros. Not that necessarily the individual switches that much for both of these players. They both have a very competent Teros. We've seen Simples do a lot of work in 2s. Even though we don't see it on Heisen as much, he still has a level 38 Teros, which is around Blaze's Teros at level 39.
And this is something that I'm not used to in casting with you. Is that usually when we're at lands, we can't see people's levels, and I know that's your favorite thing to check.
It is, man. Dude, Brawlhalla is actually a blessing for stuff like this. Oh, he gets that even without like needing an actual hit to secure it, because you saw him hit the recovery and he actually missed the ground pound. It still led to the KO while Aknow was trying to dodge out of the way.
Oh man, that's like one of the most horrific things to witness on Mammoth Fortress, is because the wall's so large. People are like, I can make it back. But any seasoned player will look at all of your dodges and jumps being used and go like, okay, I'm going to start ground pounding here. Goodbye. And that's what happens to Blaze as blue team's now down to 1 stock apiece. They did take the lead out momentarily, and now Ice and Simple are up a stock, but this could change right now.
He tried to get away.
Blaze just kept going. He just kept going.
He tried so hard to get away.
I think if Simple just hugged the wall the entire time, he was fine.
No, I don't think so.
Simple
at all.
let
No
go.
shot.
I think. Well, okay.
He was dead.
We'll watch
100%.
the replay then. We'll watch the replay, because I think he faded off at the very last second and got hit by the.
He did fade off at the very last second. I agree with that.
I think that Simple thought that he was safe, but Blaze kept going with the ground pound. We'll see. We'll see. Can Heisen make this 1v2 possible? That's looking good as that side tick hits. Oh, he misses the. Okay, Aknow just goes over the other side of the stage. Smart. Fighting against the hammer is pretty scary. At this point, I think Heisen's actually safer off stage than he is on stage.
He's making this work so far, but it's still going to take some serious punishment on the blue team for him to find these hits. So how far that Nair sent him over back onto the edge of the recovery. Oh no! He almost had enough frames on that recovery to get through the dodge. Couldn't quite get through it. And Simple here kind of putting out low damage numbers. Taking the mid 500s, but he only put out 367. So he's going to have to step that up. We'll see if he continues with the Teros, or whether he goes back to another pick. Meanwhile, Heisen's numbers were looking pretty good.
Reviewing the replays right now. We're
here
going to see
it
if we get
comes.
that knockout. Look, see? Oh, no, you were right.
Yeah.
You were right. Okay. It was weird because he had the wall touch.
Yeah, he definitely did.
But
I
think he was gone. I think he was gone no matter what, even if he didn't.
Yeah, that was sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because he went.
Which is a really good ground pound placement.
It is.
That's just really good.
He went towards the wall to get away from aknow, and Blaze knew that, so he covered the area where aknow couldn't cover. And because he had to go that way, he was sort of forced into that. He tried to move away from the wall to maybe get under and around because that was the only safe place. But obviously, you ain't moving that fast. It ain't going to happen. You were basically dead to rights by the time aknow started throwing out a move.
So now Blaze and aknow 1 game away from knocking out Heisen Supply 4th and getting to the lower finals where they will fight against Fosee and Machete. But if anything about EU is true, is that these games start to get real serious once somebody is on match point. And we're going to see what happens here as we have the first non-mono team coming out from Heisen and Simple. 1 on Bodvar, 1 on Taros. Both players playing both of these characters, but this time not at the same time.
Ooh, nice ground pound to sort of start this thing off to kind of break that ice, taking out aknow. Simple has some significant damage on this stock, so he is going to have to be careful. That down air going to bounce him off the stage. Heisen coming in. He's sticking with this Taros. His numbers were healthy last game, so I think he's looking at that KO potential here. Simple is going to fall. Heisen's damage is, like, it's fine so far. He's in the orange, maybe 1 or 2 more hits. Yo, that was sort of a mishmash of moves. Oh, Heisen's going to fall. Blaze is going to fall.
Is he gone too? That was like an entire disaster train of just one weapon throw causing all of that to occur. Really unfortunate for the blue team in the end, and now aknow getting stomped side air, just going to have to spend all this time recovering while Blaze gets set in the grinder of the down sig from Taros' hammer. So much damage going on to the blue team on their second stocks apiece, but after all that is said and done, this was really just an attempt for the red team, and a successful one at that, at coming back and making the game even. Oh, Silent Cider almost took down Blaze.
And that shows how aknow not dying in the situation before where Blaze did, I think that actually works out for the better for red team, because that meant the next time they hit aknow, he was deep in the red, so he got sent super far away. That gave red team free reign to put out the damage on a Blaze while aknow recovered. If aknow died before, him and Blaze would have respawned at the same time. They're going to completely split the red team here and get a double KO, 1 on each player of the blue team. Now they're technically in the lead, but Blaze is super damaged here.
Yeah, Blaze could go down, but Blaze is so damaged that if he gets hit by a, say, axe neutral light, he'll spend 30 seconds recovering. Blaze goes down, that grandpa hits aknow.
He's waiting.
Stock, right?
Oh, Heisen's waiting.
Yeah,
they had him on both sides, man.
Heisen did some really neat maneuverability where he just barely slid off the right side of the stage to slow his descent so that the axe ground pound would for sure cover anything that aknow tried to do. And now we have ourselves a scenario where Blaze is in a 1v2 and Heisen and Simple are setting up for that team combo. Oh, chart decides a little too long, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Down air, side air.
All right, Heisen, maybe get in the game a little bit and maybe chill out. While Blaze is going to solo Simple.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh. If Simple and Heisen lose this, that would be heartbreaking. Already in the losers bracket, so that means it's done. Blaze minus damage.
He missed one side air. Heisen is playing so carefully. He's panicking for the weapon throws.
Blaze disarmed too.
On our side air. There's nothing. Weapon spawns perfectly in favor of him. Hammer picked up. He doesn't get the nair. He goes for the stop down air. He slipped too far forward. He couldn't follow up with the side air. It's so close. The weapon throws down. Blaze just wants one stop. Uses his dodge. Oh, he neutral instantly pushes him away. The nair hits. Blaze doesn't get hit with a weapon throw. Stop side air. That's it. Blaze wins.
Blaze gets the stop side air for the KO. You gotta know that Heisen is just kicking himself after that stomp dare didn't connect. That's so brutal.
I really want to see that moment again. We'll be getting to it. It's tough because when you do those dash downlights as hammer, you have to make that judgment call about whether you need to pivot or not pivot the down air right afterwards for it to connect because the side air won't hit in time. Oh my goodness. Look at that. It was so close. The Nair hits. I think Blaze just gets the. What does he get here?
Here comes. There it is. Stomp.
Wow.
Side
What a call
air.
out.
Oh my gosh. Blaze and aknow versus Heisen and Simple. It didn't happen in the winners finals. We didn't just see it happen in the grand finals. It happened in the losers semis. And it was a 3-0 from Blaze and aknow.
That means we've got 2 matchups left for the day. Blaze and aknow 3-0ing their rivals, Heisen and Simple, in the lower semifinals, have progressed to the lower finals against Fosee and Machete. Well, they'll be fighting a best-of-5 to see who gets to the grand finals to have that rematch against Pavelski and the Ninja 729. Very exciting matchups coming along. Are Blaze and aknow, despite going down to lower so early, and by early I mean pre-top 8, which I guess
That's early.
It's early for them. Yeah. Are they still going to be able to win this and be the reigning champions? I am excited to see because they have a lot of challenging opponents today.
The crazy thing is looking at their losers bracket run once they got in the top 8, like Blaze and aknow 3-0'd Wave God and Tenix, not a surprise. Then Zapapi and Stickia, of all teams, took them all the way to Game 5. I would not have expected that. Then going into losers semifinals, they just ran over Heisen and Simple 3-0. There were some close games, but they still ran over them when you're looking at the bracket 3-0. So what did Zapapi and Stickia have that just kind of magical recipe of ingredients that got them all the way to Game 5 against Blaze and aknow? And will Fosee and Machete either find the same thing or their own recipe of ingredients?
I'm telling you, before Zapapi and Stickia got knocked out, I was comparing Zapapi's level of play on Azos similar to what I was seeing with Fosee and Jala, where it's just such a mastery of the legend that a lot of their success came from his ability to use down sig on Axe and side sig on Bow in those scenarios for team combos where he was just getting the knockout super early on, and that really put Blaze and aknow on the edge there into that Game 5 scenario that you said. It was great seeing them play today, but they're not going to be the matchup that Blaze and aknow has to deal with next, as they are getting ready to fight against Fosee and Machete. Yes.
Yeah, so the two really kind of special teams today were Blue and Inframini and Fosee and Machete. Blue and Inframini, they were the ones that took out Blaze and aknow earlier, so this isn't a salty run back. Fosee and Machete were the magical team that took out Heisen and Simple earlier. So this is the first time we're seeing this set today, and based on what Fosee and Machete did earlier, I am so curious as to what's going to happen here. I mean, if I'm just looking at the pure statistics in my brain, I think Blaze and aknow are going to come out on top, definitely. I'm thinking it would even go so far as a 3-1 in favor of Blaze and aknow.
Yeah, and all of my attention is going to be on Machete going into these games. If there's been one consistent factor in every single set that I've watched with Fosee and Machete, is that Machete tends to lose his stocks really, really early, and Blaze and aknow are the kind of goal-oriented doubles players that will take advantage of that. Not to mention that Fosee, despite dipping into that defense stance, taking out decks, making sure they have 4 defense, is still an incredibly squishy legend. The Great Hall is going to be the stage for game number 1, and let's see how Machete's survivability plays against Blaze and aknow. This is the first time that these two teams are going to be meeting all brackets.
Now, one thing that shows Fosee and Machete's ability as a 2v2 team is, when Machete was dying early, you were seeing that reflected in his numbers, but you were also seeing it reflected in Fosee's. Oh, okay, the disconnect, I believe. I don't know if that was in time. How many? Did they get 10 seconds?
I think it's in the first 10 or 15
thought it was
seconds.
10.
Either way.
It was definitely past 10 for sure.
Well, we'll find out in a moment based off the score screen. All right.
Because we're this deep in the bracket, they might just give it to him, but I actually don't know. But the point I was trying to make before that happened was that you were also seeing it reflected in Fosee's numbers. You were seeing huge KOs, huge damage numbers as well. So the fact that Fosee was able to capitalize on that, that is something that a lot of teams struggle to do. You'll have one team member just get taken out of the game, do 100 damage, 200 damage, and then you won't see the other person doing high 600s, low 700s, 800s damage. But you are seeing that from Fosee. So even when that mistake is made, there is still something that makes up for it in the long run.
So it seems as though we're going back to the stage that we were just on and getting into the real game number 1 between these two teams. Very excited about it, as we've got Brawlhalla and Olgrim versus Taros and Koji.
So we are getting a full redo of that game. We are jury strike that one from the record. We're going to cross that out. We're going to redact it. That last game did not happen. Forget all about it. This is game 1.
Here we go. Already fighting off stage. That is a classic Fosee Machete thing. We're just gonna be it's usually the right side of the stage too. It's at the left. That doesn't seem to be the case when they're doing that off-stage gameplay. Machete and Fosee going back for center now. aknow using a downside just to get the heck out of dodge. Side stick hits, and he gets immediately punished. As that weapon throw comes in.
If you're in a 2D fighting game, do you like to be on the left attacking the person to the right or on the other side?
You know, I've never thought about it.
Okay.
So I don't. Yeah,
well, I'm just going to make a generalization that I can't really back up, but I assume most people want to be on the left attacking to the right, so that might be why it's on the right side, because you have the wall to your left, you put your back to the wall, and then you're attacking the person to the right.
I have some evidence that I can back up to that, and that is usually 2D platformers in general, when they were side scrollers, would scroll from left to right.
Yeah, you're exactly right. That's very smart. So that might be why people will fight on the right more often than the left.
Yeah, that's interesting. Anyways, I'm not sure if that's applying to everybody there, but that is a very curious psychological observation as we're going into the game 1 of this losers finals, and it's a solid lead for the blue team. They just lost their 2 stocks, but yes, Machete and Fosee both equally damaged as they are at a little bit of a deficit, and Fosee just surprisingly goes down first.
Down air almost sent a Machete off the top of that high ceiling. We mentioned it earlier. Neutral air still not KOing off the top. Neutral air still not KOing off the top.
Let's see what happens here. Machete trying to get back on the stage. It's a weird situation for Machete, and honestly, I feel like it's a boon to have that stock lost in that fashion and not have your teammate take too much damage. And I say that, and then Fosee gets hit 4 times. Because oftentimes you just want to be in a position where you can actually help your teammate. But now Fosee's so damaged that a number of attacks on the left or right side of the stage could do it. I mean, if Taros gets a Hail Mary side stick on the Fosee right now, I think that would actually just take the stock.
It might. Definitely if he's on like the left side of that soft platform, I definitely think it would. Even on the main stage, I think you're exactly right. Fosee down air, sending him below. And now it's Fosee who is the one first taken out of this game. Machete might be right behind him. The GC Insig from aknow calling out the recovery from Machete's lance. Still kept it going. That side stick from Blaze. That's 4 stocks that the blue team still had before they fell.
All right, let's see some adaptations. Out of all of the games that I've seen today, that was the first one where it was just kind of like, oh man, Blaze and aknow are just running through the bracket. And that's not that doesn't fit the opinion that I've developed for Fosee Machete throughout the day, right? This is the team that was in winners finals, bringing it to game 5 against Pavelski and the Ninja 729. That was a explosive match in favor of aknow and Blaze. It never even once felt like momentum was going to go back into the other team's favor. Let's see what they've got for game number 2. Some serious adjustments are going to have to be made.
Yeah, keep in mind, Fosee and Machete are not just some randoms who happen to luck their way into this part of the bracket. Extremely high power-ranked players. I believe the stats were 5th earlier in terms of team power rankings. So incredible team from Fosee and Machete, but that also goes to show you just how dang good Blaze and aknow are. That's the reason they've won every tournament after September 29th, 2019, is because they are this good. There is such a discrepancy between Blaze and aknow and everyone else. It's like, I think I've mentioned this before, it's like billionaires. Fosee and Machete, yeah, they got 1 billion, they got 2 billion. That's a lot of money. That's pretty bog. But Blaze and aknow, they're Bezos. They're Elon Musk, baby. All the other billionaires look like pores compared to Bezos and Elon Musk.
Oh, we got the first legend swap from Fosee all tournament, at least that I've seen. Onto Xavier Woods, epic crossover for Bodvar. and the Undertaker for Machete up a crossover for Thor. Thor, a very classic pick for doubles that kind of fell out of favor as a lot of the more prominent features of his kit got nerfed into being balanced. I think before Thor was just able to recover with his signatures way too effectively. Or neutral sig in that case being one of the things that got changed. And then his popularity fell off. So it's interesting seeing them bring this out in the game number 2. Let's see how he's able to do it. Machete definitely has experience on the character Fosee, on a more, probably just a character that he's had more experience on the Brawlhalla, considering that Bodvar has been around since the beginning. The game is pretty even.
And I'm going to have trouble finding Machete on Brawlhalla because he has weird letters in his name.
Also just a lot of letters in his name.
So I don't actually know what his legend level is with this Thor.
Yeah. Let's see how this plays out. Nice sider from Blaze. And that will do it. Wow, I'm surprised that Fosee's still alive, and now he's not. As it is 6 stocks to 4. The team combo immediately starts on the Machete. The neutral doesn't hit, but they continue to get even more damage on the Thor. Tanky legend, but I mean, get hit 10 times, doesn't really matter how tanky you are, as Aknow just hits several recoveries in a row. I mean, this is, Aknow and Blaze definitely seem to be freestyling a little bit in game number 2. A lot of gravity cancel unarmed downlights coming out.
Going to get a little bit of double blue team damage onto Machete, and that's actually going to lead to his death there. Oh man, almost found that sidelight as well. That would have led to some serious damage, but a good amount of damage was done onto Fosee's stock while Machete was respawning, to the point that I believe he's in red, or at least one hit away from red. That ground pound, Aknow's going to interrupt it early there by going on the platform instead of holding down. Going to get the KO onto Fosee, and now they turn their sights onto Machete, basically doing what they just did to Fosee, getting the KO. So cool. Blaze and Aknow still with 4 stocks, just like last game.
Oh, let's go. Recovery decider off the top. Gets the downer to send Fosee to the left, and Fosee's just like, what am I doing? What do I have? That's oh, he makes it back.
Fosee saying, why am I still here? It's just to suffer. And there, he's going to die. Aknow and Blaze take it out. It at least went down to 3 stocks for the blue team before it was over.
I've watched a lot of Brawlhalla, Sparky, and this is a struggle for Fosee Machete for sure. Blaze and Aknow are sweeping the floor here. This is rough. Let's see what they got for game number 3. I really want to see some. They're like. The photo talked earlier with me about like a break glass in case of emergency legend pick, and at this point they're just breaking glass, right? Like they're desperately searching for something. I think I saw a Scarlet hover. Yeah, Scarlet and Olgrim are going to be coming out for game number 3. Blaze and Aknow are destroying them. Let's see if they've got what it takes on this game number 3 to start the reverse 3-0, or is this going to be it? Are Blaze and Aknow going to go to grand finals off of this next game? We're about to find out.
I would not have expected this dominant of a performance from Blaze and Aknow
based on what today?
Based on what we saw today.
3, 2, 1.
It was very impressive.
Even just normally, I don't know that I would expect a 4-stock into a 3-stock. A 3-stock that was almost a 4-stock.
Let's see what Fosee's able to do on the Scarlet. Definitely used to seeing Fosee on the Scarlet. Let's see how it plays out here. As opening up so far, blue team having the same lead that they usually have. Machete boxing Aknow away, but Blaze interrupting that sandwich by hitting Fosee away on the other side. Puts Machete into a bad position. Stomp Sider doesn't quite connect. Fosee with the side sig with the friendly fire. Oh, but maybe he can turn around to a knockout for them. Blaze doesn't get the down air.
Oh, okay. Fosee! He wanted it too badly.
He wanted it, but he... well, anyways. He might get it anyways, but oh, Machete goes down. No, Blaze somehow surviving team combo setup. Neutral sig and a neutral sig. So much damage coming onto Fosee's fresh second stock. And Aknow fully charged with that side sig as long as he can. Blaze finally goes down, and Fosee, after that blunder, takes a ton of bonus damage. It is now almost on his last stock, as that alley-oop didn't quite connect, but the neutral light did. Oh, he gets a down sig. It was the fake out. He was gonna fake out again. They started the team combo and he immediately turned around with the side stick on the Fosee. They are just styling on him.
And that's why sometimes you just have to give players the benefit of the doubt. Because like in my brain, I would have saw that down and be like, aknow, what in the world are you doing?
aknow did down
no
again,
shot.
yeah.
That's a good move there. And then actually, his brain is just so much bigger than mine that I was trying to process that with 4 wrinkles in there, and aknow is just a wrinkly SOB coming into this one.
Can aknow even make it back? No, he was playing a little too much on the side of the stage. Fosee with one nice timed weapon throw takes that stock really early, and despite the dominance of the blue team, the stocks are rather even. But aknow and Blaze, the momentum is completely in their favor. It's not even like a ratio, right? It's just 100% momentum.
He's done.
The blue team. Yep.
Charge that one up. Great timing on it too from aknow.
Machete gets gravity cancel sidelined. Okay, let's see if we can get it. If we can get aknow here, there's a chance. It's the smallest I've ever seen. Oh, goodbye. Goodbye, Machete.
And again, another 3-stock game for the blue team coming out of that one.
Yeah, Blaze and aknow are dominating. At least that team. Really well played. Fosee and Machete are out at third, but that was there was. I do my best to not have caster bias, right? That's a thing that exists, and I promise you, I had no bias in these games. Blaze and aknow were just a whole level above Fosee and Machete in this particular best of 5. It was destruction.
Yeah, that's where the context going into this set was such a mishmash of information and details and facts and figures going into it, because you have the overall context of it's Blaze and aknow, the 2 best without a doubt 2v2 players in EU. No one else is even really that close. But then you have the today context of them going down so early to Blue and Inframini. Not to discredit Blue and Inframini, still very talented players. They've had very high highs. They still have solid power rankings going in. But going up against Blaze and aknow, nobody would have expected that, right? So that's an additional little nugget of context that you need going into this. And then we have yet another nugget of context on top of that. That is, they just completely stomped that team.
Yeah, it was... Man, it was really one-sided. And that was really cool because it's a lot of fun to watch. But it only becomes so much fun to watch a one-sided beatdown for so long, right? Like after a while, you want to fight back a little bit. So I'm hoping that's what we're going to be getting in Grand Finals. I mean, it's Grand Finals, right? Today, these are the 2 best teams in Europe fighting against each other for the title of Spring Champion. We're going to be seeing who's going to get it in just a little bit, as if Blaze and aknow keep playing this way, I have a sneaking suspicion, even if it goes to Game 5, we might have a bracket reset on our hands.
Now, we have seen in the past, we've seen Blaze and aknow go down in like the winners finals, then come back and reset the bracket for the victory. But we've also seen them start out Grand Finals on the winners side. Most recently, I can't remember exactly when that was. It might have been either Winter Championship or BCX. That Simple
Winter Championship, they went through the lower.
They went through losers.
Sure.
Okay, then it was BCX where Simple and Heisen came up into Grand Finals through the losers bracket, and actually they got the reset before ultimately losing. So we've seen Blaze and aknow on sort of both sides of this.
Yeah, we've seen it on both sides. The only difference here is that Simple and Heisen aren't their opponents in Grands this time, right? Simple is normally the rival to aknow and Blaze in some capacity, depending on what teammate he's with, which lately has been Heisen. But this time around, they took them out really early, very convincingly. It's been a very strong performance coming out from them.
Another thing that's sort of unique about specifically this tournament is because Blaze and aknow and also Heisen Simple went down into the losers bracket so early, we haven't really seen that many salty runbacks like we would expect. Right, like we regularly see either Blaze and aknow salty run back on Simple Heisen, or Heisen Simple salty run back on Blaze and aknow, or aknow and Blaze salty run back on Ninja Pavelski, or vice versa. But this is the first time today that these teams have fought each other. So many like firsts today. This tournament is so unique.
And now we're seeing, on top of the uniqueness, right, is the adaptation from the Ninja, opening up with Zolt in game number 1, where he still has that powerful cannon that he loves to main as a weapon, but also getting the axe is popular in 2's. Recovery stuff by that ground pound, however, means that a lead's going over to blue team at the beginning of game number 1, and it could be a solid lead if he's able to get Pavelski here too, but no, Pavelski, ground pounds to safety, side aired away again, and this is the scariest point. And yeah, Pavelski, absolutely correct. He is too far away to recover in time. Just fastball. You don't need that stock anyways. Get back to be able to help your teammate. Don't let him go down a whole nother stock while you try to recover on one that's already lost. Well played by him, even though the lead's in the blue team.
Ninja played the time while Pavelski was going over to the left blast zone and respawning. He played it pretty well, but he did take some damage. It wasn't a crazy amount, but it still was some. Pavelski's going to answer with a KO. It's now 5 stocks to 3. But like you said earlier, we're seeing both Ninja and Pavelski go back to kind of what they started the day with. Ninja started with the Zol and then later changed to the Sidra. Pavelski started with the Val and later changed to the Taros. Now, as I'm saying that, aknow might be making him make that switch immediately next game over to the Taros by not only taking him out, but getting 3 KOs in a row. Still hasn't died. Might go this entire game without dying.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Sparky.
Oh no! Oh!
Uh-oh.
Production, don't show this! Don't show how much damage Ninja
Don't
did!
show no, it's okay. They're on the replays. They're not going to show the damage.
Oh, they saw it for a second. I bet someone clipped it.
Oh, well.
Ooh.
My uh-oh was a more general. Uh-oh. As a like, uh-oh, aknow and Blaze. This is losers bracket aknow and Blaze. That's right. It's a different team than winners bracket aknow and Blaze. They're just clocking in, right? They're here for a paycheck.
My uh-oh was a very targeted uh-oh at the 95 damage that the Ninja did last game. Look, people are going to clip it. I had to say it.
Well,
an unbiased caster would report those numbers because they are fact.
Yeah, well, took 444 damage. That's a cool number, right? three of the same.
Yeah, that's Taza showing his real unbiased casting.
Oh no, the Ninja's going. Oh wait, Pavelski went for the save. Let's see what Blaze is able to do. aknow is going for the downer. He gets the second downer in the weapon throw. Pavelski's just gone. Ninja fight by the cider, and that's something that aknow and Blaze have been doing a lot in their 2v1 scenarios, where if their teammate does get hit by the one in the 2v1, they immediately dash in to punish them at the end of the moves they're throwing out. In that case, the Ninja was using Neutralite, so aknow went in right afterwards, got a bunch of extra damage. Down sig just comes right through, cuts the Ninja off the top of the stage, loses the stock, but I'd say that's a worthy trade. Not to mention that there's just a bunch of psychological damage from getting hit by a Cody down sig from a sword.
Now, after that 2v1 combo, they just grabbed, well, not anymore. Blaze and aknow sort of turned that around very quickly, but it was like that Ninja and Pavelski were in the lead. You could argue either way, that either team could be in the lead now. It's very even between these two with how damaged aknow is.
And they almost comboed that the anchor into the down sig from Taros. Let's see what Blaze and aknow are able to do. Nice falling there. Sidelight hit. Side sig off of the sidelight. Gets the stock. Pavelski, no dodge. Means that that's going to certainly be his stock, but aknow missed the falling cider. Could lose the stock in return. And he does. Great turnaround coming out from Pavelski as they even up the game once again. Let's see, though. Pavelski going down. Ninja gets the ground pound, but that's not the stock, and Ninja just has to run away from the terror that is aknow and Blaze in a 1v2.
You saw the D-Light ground pound. That gave Ninja the chase dodge to get away from the blue team. In came Pavelski, and I think he found 3 hits immediately. Came out swinging right out of the gate when he respawned. Almost found the follow-up side air. That would have been the KO option on the Blaze. They have to find this KO. They have to find it on Blaze. Nice dare.
Gets it. They get the KO, but it was only after Blaze finished side airing them both left and right into aknow for even more damage. Blaze gets the side air, comes back on the stage. Pavelski, nice dodge on the follow-up, gets the down sig. Okay, the red team was on the verge of making a comeback, but there goes the Ninja, and that could be Pavelski as well as that weapon throw forces the dodge, and okay, Sparky, we got ourselves a game. That was such a great turnaround. aknow a little cocky there. Pavelski now in a 1v1 against Blaze, which is really difficult, but it's doable.
We saw Blaze just win a 2v1 situation just a few moments ago. So I still have a lot of confidence in him. And noticed how I paused to sort of drag that out so I could confirm it once Blaze already confirmed the KO.
I mean,
because it could have gone either way.
It,
You're exactly right.
as you were saying it, Pavelski landed like 6 clean hits. So it was like, uh-oh, is he going to Sare him? But he did Sare him. And that resulted in the victory. And now Blaze and aknow are 1 game away from making it feel like that the original Grand Finals never even happened. We might just have a Grand Final bracket reset before like 10 minutes is up. At this rate, it's going quite quickly as we're on to the Great Hall for game number 3.
So I think Blaze and aknow started out today with a double Bodvar before changing over, maybe a Bodvar Bren before changing over to this Taros Koji pick. Koji not really that popular of a 2v2 character anymore, but
Yeah.
I love aknow's Koji. Just watching it.
I think
feels
Bo in
good.
general is not very popular in twos. Zapapi being the other Bo player in Europe, at the very least. Oh no, Pavelski just had.
He's right
done.
there. Oh no.
He's gone.
Look at the coverage that that aknow had on that corner with just that down air. Any other weapon, he probably couldn't have done that with, maybe Orb, but even so.
Yeah, Bo is a weapon that has an incredible amount of range, but also requires an incredible amount of precision. Positioning that down air while in midair in any other way could have resulted in that not hitting, Pavelski making it back and everything being fine, but aknow has been incredibly accurate. So he's getting these stocks. And now the blue team is going down the left side there as Blaze gets hit off stage, but aknow is still surviving on this first stock, and last time that he did this, well, it resulted in a 5 stock in game number 1.
Nice side air from Pavelski, bouncing aknow off the wall, very much in the red. Oh, D-like ground pound from aknow. Is that going to be an orange KO? And he finished off with another perfect 45-degree angle attack. He didn't have the bow this time, so it was a little bit riskier because he actually had to move himself, move his hurt box forward. But it was that unarmed down air, basically doing the exact same thing that the Dare did before.
Side air coming up from the Ninja, trying to finish off aknow's first stock, and aknow somehow manages to turn around into more damage without losing this stock on his own. Nares from Pavelski being avoided, then the recovery is enough knockback on its own from above the stage to take aknow off the bottom of it. Blaze now running for his life as aknow covers the side of the stage 1v2, and the Ninja really going in.
Oh no, the ground
back. Oh, Pavelski, no! Wait. He survives, and somehow Blaze goes down. All right, red team bringing the stocks down to even.
Oh, aknow, perfect with the side air to punish the anchor. And just rewinding back a little bit to that edge guard situation that happened on the right side, we saw aknow again use the unarmed dare, not necessarily as the KO finish-off move, but to get away from that, get under the stage, provide some safety for himself, distance from everything that was going on so he could rotate to the other side of the stage and get back up.
aknow putting out a series of side 6 on the bow, trying to catch Pavelski with one of them. Gravity cancel down, let's get back to the stage. Pavelski dips super low, catches aknow off guard, hits the recovery, but aknow continues boxing away with these neutral lights. That neutral light came so close, taking the Ninja off the top of the stage, but all stocks are technically even. It only takes 1 mishap off the side of the stage to result in the red team having a 1v2 opportunity, but it also only takes 1 axe side air to get a bracket reset.
Or even that recovery that the Ninja put out with his sword that hit Pavelski, and if he didn't steer it away in time, that would have sent Pavelski flying very high up. aknow and Blaze are just completely running through these teams, giving us the bracket reset.
Yes, this has been a very fast round 1 grand finals. And for those that are unaware, it's been very routine for a lot of these brackets, but when you are in a double elimination bracket and you make it into grand finals on winner's side without losing a set, if you do lose that first set, it counts as you getting knocked into the lower brackets. Now both teams are sitting here in grand finals, 1 set loss apiece, and they both have 1 best of 5 left to fight to see who is crowned the European 2v2 Spring Champion. Is it going to be Blaze and aknow, who are just on a tear, 3-0ing everybody that they ever encounter? Or is it going to be Ninja 729 and Pavelski with the adjustments going over back to the Brawlhalla Taros in game number 1 of this best of 5 grand finals bracket reset? We are about to find out. Good start for the red team. Amazing start. A lot of friendly fire, actually. Maybe not so amazing. aknow was off screen for about 5 seconds. And
good
Pavelski
start.
and the Ninja are getting a good team combo. Aknow's gone.
That's
He's just
a
gone.
fantastic start to this game.
Oh, and they continue team comboing Blaze. I thought that side stick was going to take him down. Aknow trying to get the revenge knockout, but he's ground pounding so low. Do you like ground pound? Chase dodges straight out of there. Oh, sidelight into side air, into another side air. Aknow getting his ass beat. He is just getting destroyed. Another ground pound hits. Oh, the recovery's gone. Ground pound hits. Blaze in the meantime already got it. Aknow is taking a plethora of damage as Pavelski and the Ninja just need to hit like one good axe side air to send Aknow down to 2 stocks in under a minute, but no. Ninja goes down, and that's it.
Blue team.
I failed to acknowledge that this is the Ninja 729's Jala counter pick, where he uses the fire extinguisher to represent a cannon, because he technically doesn't have one. That's like, every time I see him, he hasn't told me that's the reason. I'm just assuming that's the reason.
It's him like mishmashing the two kind of off weapons from his other two characters, taking the sword from Sidra and taking the axe from the Zolpic, completely ditching the cannon that he sort of made his name with and really broke out onto the scene with, specifically his cannon. And ditching that for this Jala pick that we saw Fosee do some great stuff with today, but now we're seeing the red team start to fall behind with Ninja losing that stock, Pavelski very close to losing this stock if he's not careful. Just a sidelight from Blaze isn't going to be the KO option just yet.
Oh man, a lot of damage coming through, but the blue team is crawling back. Aknow lost 2 stocks really early on, but now he's tacking on a ton of extra damage, and Blaze still has 2 stocks to the same. They have to take Blaze down and then switch immediately to Aknow for a chance, and all right, red team loves that. Neutral stick friendly fire gives them an opportunity for that 1v2, but Aknow gets stopped side aired, and Pavelski goes all the way out there. Oh, it was so close, but Aknow makes it back, and he gets some damage for it too. Really close game 1. Recovery hits. Side air hits. Blaze getting hit by the Nair as Pavelski's covering the Ninja's recovery. Oh, and sidelight Nair comes through. 1 Nair punish. Side air hits both of them. Who's going to get the hit? I thought Aknow was going to turn around for sure, and he does! He gets the recovery, and the Ninja goes off the top. It's a 1v2 for Pavelski, and he gets snared out of his weapon, dodges the downlight just barely, and that is it. Aknow and Blaze take game number 1 of the bracket reset, one of the closest games we've seen between these two teams so far.
I can't believe he went for a ground pound there. I was expecting a recovery. Maybe it was a miss input, like he went to fast fall down.
I've definitely done ground pounds while trying to recover. Yeah, that's possible.
Because, man, going for a ground pound when you're that high up and your opponent is, like, right there next to you, I think a recovery would have been the better option. Maybe he didn't have it, but I'm pretty sure he did. I can't wait for them to break that down on the Monday Esports Dev stream starting at 5 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Brawlhalla.
Here we go, game 2, Great Hall. 1-0 lead for Aknow and Blaze. Game number 1 started off beautifully for Pavelski and the Ninja.
Oh,
and it
that
looks
could
like
be
it's starting
huge.
beautifully again. Aknow has been losing these first few stocks like in a really quick fashion and then tightening up right afterwards. Gets hit by that Taros down stick, doesn't get taken off the top. Blaze avoiding the recovery from Pavelski narrowly, and the down stick doesn't punish the neutral light from Aknow, as no team has lost a stock just yet. Pavelski accidentally gets some friendly fire, but somehow uses it to his advantage. That was a really strangely charged down heavy.
We've seen Pavelski go for the down heavy off of what the Ninja was doing today, but he
that's
didn't quite the
what it
timing
was.
on it.
I was like, why are you charging that? But I'm assuming it was because Jala had something ready to go. First stocks are in favor of neither team. It's actually super close. Let's see who goes down first as they are oh man, they brought the Ninja down into orange already. D-Light recovery will take Blaze off the top to stock lead. Team combo onto Aknow. D-Light down air. Oh no, he doesn't get the down air. That's huge for Aknow. I was so used to seeing that combo play out, I wasn't ready for it to not happen.
Yeah, that's a major drop that could have given the red team something huge to put them in the lead here. Now it's just even.
Yeah, which is still a lot. I mean, it
Very
means
true.
something for the red team, considering that they've lost the last 4 games. Oh, Pavelski charged that one. Nice down. So didn't get the alley-oop. I think he landed before the side air could have been buffered in, but Aknow goes down regardless. So now they're switching over to Blaze. Side air doesn't hit. Not enough drift back on the axe. Wants to move against casting, but no. Ninja comes down with that fastball side air, and no, doesn't get the recovery either. But it's still great damage for the red team. This could be the first win against this team so far. But Blaze sliding in with the down sig, and Aknow with the side sig takes out a stock apiece, and now it's 3-1
And it went from being even to being in the red team's favor to now being in the blue team's favor after that. It was quick, back-to-back KOs. They do get the KO on a Blaze, so we're back to even on our final stocks. This is sort of the most interesting game between these two teams so far. The fact that it's this even on the final stocks. Decent coming up from Pavelski, completely misses. Blue team far enough away from it, that is.
Side sig hits, and that's the full brunt of a Taro side sig onto Aknow's Koji. Downlight hits as well, now deeper into the orange. One more solid axe will put him into red, but Aknow still fighting back. One recovery hits, another recovery whiffs. Pavelski putting out those fully charged down sigs in the air. Can't quite get him to connect, but he's not getting too much punish. And the side air clash with the side sig from Aknow, and Aknow gets another fully charged side sig. He's just side sigging left and right.
He doesn't know where the light attack button is. Oh, Aknow! Pavelski wasn't able to turn around and find anything off of that. Everybody in the red, but a D-Light recovery comes out, boosted up, given a little bit of help from that right soft platform. That is going to be a KO off the top. Aknow putting out 575 damage, the most by far out of anybody in the game. Also grabbing the most KOs out of anybody in the game. And this is looking a little bit rough. Not even just a little bit, a lot of bit rough for Pavelski and the Ninja, as they're already staring down 2 shots fired from the triple barrel shotgun that Blaze and Aknow have pointed at them.
I mean, heck, they even got a respawn, right? They got an extra life, right, by being in the grand finals, and they're already in the same position again. Blaze and Aknow are proving why they have those 1s next to their name when it comes to power rankings, right? And if there was ever a case to make for the statement of them believing that they are the best 2s team globally, it is the way that they are dismantling the European 2v2 scene in today's tournament. I mean, Blue and M for Mini, they took them down in the winner side of the bracket, but the way that Blaze and Aknow are playing now through Lobers all the way in the grands is it's unprecedented. They're playing so well with this Koji and Taro. So now they're going into game number 3 on the Great Hall once again. Can the Ninja 729 and Pavelski with the double 4 bring out a miracle and bring it to game number 4? Because even though they are down 5 games, they only have to win 3 to win the entire tournament. That's the benefit of doing as well as they did earlier on in the bracket. Let's see what happens here as Pavelski's fighting against Aknow on the right side of the stage.
3 games is so many games.
It's a lot.
It's so funny to say, well, you only have to win 3 in the grand final.
They've already played 5, okay? It's like
3
how bad
so
can 3
many
be
against this team, dude. It's crazy.
Oh, that down 6 snipes him, and Pavelski goes out of the double KO, and Aknow and Blaze. Blaze just throws his hammer at Aknow. You're like, what are you doing standing up there? Oh, that was such a cool team combo. Oh, I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead in white. I thought the D-Light recovery was going to do it. That was so scary. Aknow goes down. Very lucky for the Ninja to not lose his stock in that moment.
Sidelight side air from the orb onto Blaze. Going to swap back to the double hammer. Blaze is definitely very red, and the down air is going to KO him off the top. Aknow trying to put as much pressure as he can. That down air, you've seen him use it so well. Is one of them going to fall?
He hit him with the recovery of the stage?
Is Pavelski dead?
Oh.
What's going on over on the left side? We talked about how people are ready to fight on the right side. Maybe this team is just left-handed.
Ah, Pavelski makes it back. Aknow goes down. Wait, how did the Ninja go down at the same time? I wasn't even looking. Oh, okay. Whatever. Even game.
There was too much going on, dude. My ADD brain could not handle it.
All right, I would say damage-wise, there's no clear favorite here. Let's just see who's fighting off stage and make a call.
That was crazy.
Aknow avoids the sideline.
I was overstimulated on the left. I thought I was watching an Overwatch League game. I didn't know what the heck was going on.
Brawlhalla has become a spectator-unfriendly sport at this point. That was wild. Oh, Pavelski falling with the downer. What? Huh?
I don't know what happened there either.
How did Blaze do a triangle formation with his knockback? What? The orb down. Okay. Red team has a lead. That's the only thing that we have to care about. We're casters here. Let's talk about who's winning. Who is winning?
The Ninja and Pavelski.
Why did you have
to ask that with the question mark?
Well, I had to ask because I was like, I know, and then I didn't know. That's why I have you, Sparky.
Man, this grand finals, this is something else here with this double Thor from the Ninja and Pavelski against Aknow's
I mean, it might work.
Koji.
They just have to take down Aknow.
It's
so
back to
close.
even.
Ah! Oh man, Pavelski's taking so much damage. Blaze is just putting on a ton of damage. Stop Cider's not going to be enough for Blaze. Recovery, double recovery.
Oh,
no,
Ground Pound,
Aknow
that's
comes out the
huge.
same. But Pavelski makes it back, but the recovery stops the ground pound, and now Pavelski's looking for a weapon, and for some reason Ninja 729 is using the neutral sync fully charged. Cider hits Pavelski.
Bounces off the stage. It wasn't the KO option. Blaze in the 1v2. We've seen him do it before. We've seen him do it today even. GC Instinct fades away, doesn't get hit, finds the double KO, and that is a back-to-back 3-0. Blaze and Aknow yet again, to nobody's surprise, EU 2v2 Spring Champions.
I gotta admit, even in the face of like just a crushing opponent, right? At least it was really entertaining towards the end. I was worried we're gonna keep getting 5 stocks after that game number 1. Really well played by Blaze and Aknow, and well played from the Ninja 729 and Pavelski as well. But man, Blaze and Aknow, like they said, they are on another level.
Yep, showing themselves truly a cut above the rest of EU. We've needed lands now more than ever before to see what this team can do against the best that North America and the other regions have to offer. Never in my life have I wanted more to see a matchup than Blaze and Aknow against the rest of the world.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. It is looking great. All of these regions have been like hyperbolic time to chambering, like in their own regions, right? Like because as the tournaments become more accessible, the prize pools have grown and they've become more frequent online. So many regions are developing their own unique, viable playstyle that I can't accurately predict how it's going to work against other ones, and it's just going to be a thing that time will tell as we move forward throughout.